Wow.
Sipping my tea.
I had tears in my eyes earlier when I was watching those clips.
So Brandon, you and all these Democratic mayors out here and governors, y'all talking about crashing out for these illegals, right? You all stood up there and said you will not allow Trump to come in here and get these illegals. Yeah, you can smile. We're in $1 billion deficit. And you spent half of our money, half of that on illegals. Trump, Tom Homan, make an example out this right here first. Please come here first, because you know what? We're going to help you. We want to forensic.
Ma'am, I would ask that you
keep your,
hold on a second, stop her time.
Our mayor is embarrassing us, y'all, around the world. And you all took the power back from him to say the city of Chicago is out of the business of funding illegals. We are out of the business of prioritizing non-American citizens on top of the American citizens who go out in this cold weather every day to make money to pay their taxes.
You so strong about protecting those aliens, but you won't do nothing for the U.S. citizens.
Here you are with another gritty property tax hike, trying to push the have-nots to house your precious illegal immigrants. You told Trump you ain't gonna blink? Well, we ain't either. You ain't above the law, and where you gonna run to when Trump pulls that Trump card out on you? I will make it my duty to try to get MAGA to perform an Operation Great Lord 2.0 in Chicago and lock all of you crooked Democrats and judges up. And it's just like that.
Wow.
Sipping my tea.
I had tears in my eyes earlier when I was watching those clips. I did. Who would have thought that you would see people, Chi-Town in the house. I mean, these people are literally taking back their rightful place in that city council meeting in Chicago City, in the streets of Chicago, against the mayor. These people are what we call Americans. We, the people. Who would have thought that you could see people flipping Chicago red? I mean, that woman, now they beeped her out, but she did say this Negro. She didn't say MFer. She said this Negro right in his face. We talk about this all the time. Our taxes are used to fund so much other stuff. When if we had our own money, we would have better health care, if you will, because we would be we'd be able to send our children to whatever school without the quote unquote government assistance. There would be so much more that we would have control over our lives. We don't need the Elizabeth Warrens telling us to regulate this and regulate that. We don't need any politicians making any more laws. And hell, we need to get rid of many of them. Thank you, Vivek Ramaswamy and Elon Musk, and what we call, what is it? Doge. Yes. So these, I mean, that was a beautiful, I need to put that somewhere, mark that, earmark it, bookmark it, whatever. But that was, it was almost a spiritual thrill to see that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts there, Nicole?
It's a continuing awakening. We were there this summer. We heard a lot of the same things. You know, you can only mistreat people for so long.
Well, it's been a long time.
In Chicago, you know, when we talk about the blue wall and Democrats assume that the city is going to go blue, but what you're hearing from people is, okay, we've had enough, right? And what do we have to lose?
Exactly.
What do we have to lose? You have everything to gain. What do we have to lose? In addition to that, while they were saying that, you remember the DNC had their convention there, right? So they cleaned all the bums off the street and got everything nice and shiny for the Democrats. And as soon as they left, bums back, trash back, right back to what they were before. When we talk about cities being under siege, Chicago has its fair share, but imagine Texas.
Yes.
Imagine Southern California. You know, here in Maryland. I mean, and Maryland's not a border, quote unquote, a border state by any stretch of the imagination, but we have a ton of illegal immigrants living in the state of Maryland.
Yep. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I hate to be
Debbie
Downer, right? But I hope it's a change. You know, they elected this guy. I mean, during the last election, he was the more progressive than the other guy that was running, and they elected him. So I hope that this is definitely a sea change. Because so. I hope they, going to the city council meetings is great, but I hope that they, in the next election vote differently, because that is what actually matters. So
can I say this? As someone who seeks out candidates, dusts them off and stands them up, these are the people that you want to run next time. These are the people that you want to put their name on a ballot for the city council, to level out some of that wokeness, because they're not going to let things sneak by them. And in addition, they're going to bring more like-minded people into the fold. This is how you grow the movement. Is it going to be a little bit more difficult in Chicago? Make no mistake, because Big Blue is big in Chicago. But can we take them down? Absolutely. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
And I applaud these people. They've been consistent for at least the last year.
Yeah, they've been on them.
They've been consistent. So again, I hope they are revved up in the right direction. Like you said, I hope it's real. I hope it sustains itself, and I hope they get Brandon. What's his name? Brandon Scott. No, we got Scott. Oh shoot,
yeah, he's a Johnson.
One and the same. Yeah, but get the other Brandon out.
Get the Brandons out of office. But I'm looking forward to the good people of Chicago hearing alternatives from what they normally hear, so that they're not what we call low information voters.
Right.
Maybe, just maybe, a seed is going to be planted, and they're going to do better next time.
I hope so too. What do you guys think in the chat? Sound off in the chat. Do you think this is going to bring about real change? Do you think that they're going to vote someone in who is not so progressive next time? I want you guys to sound off. I want to also acknowledge our super chatters here. So let's see who we have. All right, let's see here. We have Kung Fu CJ with the $5 super chat says, it is sad that it took so long for blacks to wake up. Yeah, it is. Hopefully they're awake.
Hopefully, they're still waking up.
Bar with the $5 super chat says, this is real important. God-fearing people are the majority. Yes. God haters are the minority. Stand up for God. America will change America overnight.
Agreed.
Yep, absolutely. Amen. Bar. Laura with the $2 super chat says, I saw this and loved this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing. She actually is. PB Hardy with
Thank
the $10 super chat. Thank you. Says, preach, ladies. Thank you so much. ABJ's Wise and Strong with the $2 says, salute to my DMV sisters.
Hey.
Repping common sense. All right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We certainly appreciate you guys with your super chats. It certainly helps us to create conservative content. Also, hit the like button. If you agree with what we're saying on here, if you're a MAGA supporter like we are, if you're a common sense voter, hit the like button. What we have here, Steel Toes.
Thank you.
Super chat. Thank you so much. So they spoke so much in Chicago, they brought out Tom Homan. Tom Homan,
my God, let's go,
came out, the incoming border czar under President-elect Donald Trump, recently visited Chicago to discuss his approach to immigration enforcement. This is clip 6. Take a look.
And we're going to start right here in Chicago, Illinois. If your Chicago mayor doesn't want to help, you can step aside. But if he impedes us, if he knowingly harbors, conceals an illegal alien, I will prosecute him.
Yes. Okay. I hope you guys heard it. We didn't hear it on our end. Let us know if you guys didn't hear it. We'll play it again. So that was Tom Homan. He was speaking at a GOP event where he emphasized plans to make Chicago a focal point for intensified immigration enforcement, including deportations. He criticized local leaders such as Mayor Brandon Johnson and Governor J.B. Pritzker for their sanctuary policies, urging them to cooperate or step aside. Amen. Holman outlined a no-tolerance stance on local resistance to federal immigration laws. Shelley, I mean, sounds like he means business.
I think he does, and I hope he does. I want these mayors from the LA, Detroit, Baltimore, do the two-step. They should be doing the two-step, stepping aside, and if they need to step further, then we can put them in chains for a little while, clear up these cities from these illegal aliens. People in Chicago, you don't hear people like Chicago, not lately, except talking about illegals, using the words illegals and aliens and getting these illegal immigrants out of here, talking about their money being spent to house illegals while their other needs and taxes have to go up to front this. Get these people out. I cannot wait for January the 20th at noon 01 or noon 12:30 in the afternoon. I can't wait, because I'm hoping that within the next, after the galas or whatever, on January 21st, I'm hoping that Tom Homan sweeps through the country and all of these so-called sanctuary cities and states. Get them out.
Well, the word has already been going out. I mean, Nicole, you were talking about it earlier, how just knowing that President Trump is coming has people shaking in their boots.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're seeing in certain communities, especially here in Maryland, are where there used to be kind of people milling about, hanging out in front of
illegals.
Definitely illegals, hanging out in front of Lowe's, Home Depot, places like that, selling fruit on the side of the road and sandwiches and the like. I'm not seeing any of that anymore.
Wow.
And I used to see them every day on my drive into work. And as someone who does immigration physicals as a part of our medical practice, we have seen a significant uptick of people trying to get their papers together.
Okay.
And it's people who've been here 15, 20 years who are now suddenly trying to do the right thing.
15, 20 years later.
There's some people who've been here 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. And they're complaining. They're complaining because, you cannot migrate to the United States if you have communicable disease, right? So if you have syphilis or gonorrhea, you haven't had all your childhood immunizations according to American standards, not to European standards, it's difficult to migrate. We've got to get you to a point where your health is okay in order to migrate here. They're complaining. What do you mean I need a polio shot? What do you mean? Listen.
You've been here all this time.
You've been here 30 years. 30 years. That means you've got grandkids here.
But they're worried about homeschooling moms and parents who don't want to get certain vaccines or certain jabs. But then you have all these illegals that are here with gonorrhea, syphilis, and what else? Who else knows? And this is probably why we've had outbreaks in the population.
It could be contribute to that. But one thing is that even though they've been here a number of years, now that they're trying to get right, guess who's footing the bill? We still have to foot the bill because you have to treat them. You have to treat them.
There's no turning
if they come
away.
up positive for gonorrhea, syphilis, they have to be treated.
But that's not what Taylor Lorenz says. So Taylor Lorenz, the leftist journalist, is saying that these people aren't getting health care. So what are you talking about?
Oh no, I take
go to any emergency room. Go to any emergency room, a major hospital in a city near you. Go to any emergency room. You will see many people there. Now you might not know off the bat that they're illegal, but ask the people who work there. You can find out who the ones who are illegal, and they still have to be treated in the emergency room.
Right.
That's how mean and capitalist America really is.
Right.
But again, this goes to the high cost of healthcare.
Yes,
it adds to the high cost.
Absolutely.
Right. So this is why you have these bleeding heart liberals who go around and complain about our healthcare system while they still advocate for open borders. So in reality, they are also adding toward the high cost of healthcare.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely adding to the high cost of healthcare. And more significantly than that, when you talk about how overrun these places are, we sent one bus to Martha's Vineyard?
I think so.
And they called out the National Guard, right? Imagine Texas. Imagine, they said in Massachusetts, $1 billion spent in that little tiny state. $1 billion spent on illegal immigrants, housing, food, healthcare, schooling for their children. It's expensive.
Right.
And I get the humanitarian thing, if you're being persecuted in your own nation, that kind of thing. America is not a mean country. We let in 1 million people a year, easy, right? But by that same token, those are people who come here the right way. They wait in line, they pay their fees. There's a privilege to being an American, right?
Absolutely.
There's a privilege to be here. So when people get angry and they say, oh, well, you guys are being racist, you guys are being bigoted. I'm not being racist or bigoted. I work hard for my money. Please hear me. I work really, really hard for my money. Most recently, harder than, I used to. But Americans have the right to live well.
Right. Drop a like if you agree with Nicole, please.
Yeah. And
drop a like if you agree.
Right.
And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Definitely.
That's right. And there's there's a little crawl at the bottom of your screen. That's our Cash App too. If you agree with us, go ahead and help to keep the capitalism going.
Listen, and speaking of capital and hard-earned money, go ahead and get you a new cup so you can see
that's
some
right. We got our cup.
Cheers.
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 We all got lipstick on.
Everybody got a little lipstick.
But these are our mugs, guys. They're so cute. Poppin' Politics. Does anybody have the Not Black?
I do.
So this is the Poppin' Politics one. I don't know if we can do a zoom in on that. This is the Poppin' Politics mug. Isn't it cute, guys? You guys got to get this. Send them to your family and friends for holiday. And then Shelly has the Not Black, Not White American.
That is so very cool. That is so very cool.
Yeah, and
it even looks good with the lipstick on it. Okay, wait a minute.
And Nicole has a Poppin' Politics one too. So you guys can go to our website, and check out all of our merch. We've worked really hard. And then also, if you see anything, if you have an idea of something you want to see on our merch site, we can get it on there. Drop us an email, or you can go to our website and fill out our contact form and let us know, and we'll do our best to get it on the merch site.